Right now, facing impeachment. A vote in the House is scheduled for today, where the vice president stands.
Plus, Dane County schools moving their winter sports out of county to continue play. We check in with Madison schools on the state of their athletes.
This is News 3 Now this morning.
Good morning, everybody. Happy Wednesday. Thanks for waking up with us. I'm Leah Lynchine.
And I'm Chris Stanford. House Democrats have moved forward with the vote to impeach President Donald Trump for a second time. The single article of impeachment accuses the president of inciting insurrection at the Capitol. The push for impeachment comes after Vice President Mike Pence says he will not invoke the 25th Amendment to remove the president from power, rejecting a resolution passed last night by the House of Representatives urging him to act. President Trump defended himself in his first appearance since the violence, saying he thought his words leading up to the attack were, quote, totally appropriate.
I'm Josh Ryder. Developing this morning, at least 5 House Republicans say they'll join the vote to impeachment today. New York's John Katko is among those voting against his party. Katko says not bringing consequences to President Trump's actions is a direct threat to our country's future. This is a significant change from the president's first impeachment in 2019. That time, not a single Republican voted in favor of impeachment. The Senate did not take those articles for consideration of removal of office. It's unclear if the Senate will do the same this time.
The New York Times is reporting Senator Mitch McConnell thinks President Trump did commit impeachable offenses. According to that article, the majority leader told his associates he's pleased Democrats are working to impeach Trump. McConnell is reportedly furious at the president for inciting the Capitol riot that left 5 people dead. The newspaper reports McConnell thinks an impeachment will help purge the president from the party. If it passes the House, the Senate would vote on whether to convict the president, but McConnell hasn't said if he would do that.
When Congress meets today, representatives will have to wear a mask or be fined. Democrats are planning to fine members who don't wear masks on the House floor. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi already requires masks in the chamber, but that rule is not always followed. The new fines will be $500 for the first offense and $2,500 for a second. According to an aide, that money will be directly deducted from the lawmakers' pay. The move comes after 3 representatives tested positive for COVID-19. Members of Congress also now have to walk through metal detectors to get to the floor of the House of Representatives. The detectors were installed amid concerns about certain representatives carrying weapons. Firearms are not allowed in the chamber. North Carolina Representative Madison Cawthorn told the Smoky Mountain News that he violated the rule and that he was armed when a mob stormed the Capitol. Firearms are permitted in congressional offices, and representatives are not required to pass through metal detectors to access those areas of the Capitol.
Federal investigators say they've received more than 100,000 tips from the public in their hunt for anyone involved in last week's Capitol attack. Federal officials say the amount of people involved and the range of crimes committed is overwhelming. Prosecutors are now pursuing sedition and conspiracy cases related to the insurrection, and the FBI is considering putting some of those offenders on a federal no-fly list.
A man found with several guns and bombs near the U.S. Capitol last week will stay in jail until his trial. Investigators say Lonnie Kaufman of Alabama brought several guns, extra rounds of ammo, and nearly a dozen homemade explosives with him on the day of the insurrection. According to court documents, investigators found the weapons in Kaufman's car. They arrested him when he returned to his vehicle. The federal judge says if he were released, he would pose a danger to the community. Prosecutors have not accused Kaufman of participating in the attack on the Capitol building. Kaufman's lawyer says he is innocent of the charges and questioned the strength of the case. So we have some snow headed our way. Hattie McLean here with the latest developments. Hey, Hattie.
Good morning, Chris. We certainly do. The snow is still ways off, though. Take a look at the radar map this morning, and you'll see some snow in Montana, western Montana to be exact. A little bit of rain starting to break out ahead of that snow. That is our next storm system. All that moisture will make its way across the northern tier of the United States and head towards Wisconsin tomorrow. Now, there is a little bit of light precipitation across parts of Minnesota and northern Iowa. If we see anything from that batch of precipitation, it wouldn't be more than a few sprinkles or some flurries. The atmosphere is just not saturated yet here across southern Wisconsin. Our snow chances really ramp up as we head into Thursday and Thursday morning. Likely it'll be a fairly dry commute for most of us, but those snow chances do increase as we head towards the mid-morning hours, and then snow becomes likely for the afternoon and evening. This storm is going to impact the evening commute tomorrow. Take a look at our future track forecast model. Still looking at a brief period of some mixy precipitation initially, especially in South southwestern Wisconsin. The precipitation, though, should quickly change over to some snow, and then it's snow for the remainder of the afternoon into the evening. As dry air begins to work its way back into the area, we'll start to see that snow diminish Friday night into Saturday morning, with just a few flurries lingering on Saturday. Here's a look at the total precipitation potential. Again, pretty light for most of us, 1 to 2 inches. We could see some slightly higher amounts, 3 to 4 inches north and west of Dane County. Here's a look at our temperatures this morning. We're starting off on a pretty mild note, 30 here in Madison, 28 in Platteville, and 28 in the Dells. Weather track showing you that it's already cloudy across southern Wisconsin, so don't expect to see a lot of sunshine today. Temperatures, though, will stay mild with highs in the middle 30s. Here's a look at that extended forecast. Again, we still have a chance for some snow on Friday, then just some flurries through the weekend with highs in the 20s.
Hattie, thank you very much. 6:05 now. Governor Evers is promising to make 2021 the year of broadband access. In his State of the State address last night, the governor outlined what he hopes to do to move Wisconsin forward. For broadband, that means asking the legislature to approve a $200 million investment. He also called for a special session to fix the IT systems at the Department of Workforce Development. Those have been blamed for slow unemployment payments.
We know that replacing the system will take years. That's why it should have been done sooner. But it's also why we don't have another moment to waste. No politics, no posturing. Send me the bill and let's just get it done.
Republicans will fight for another conservative budget. We'll keep spending in check. We'll continue our successful school choice programs. We'll protect the unborn. We'll reduce taxes even further, and we will ensure that free speech still exists in the Badger State moving forward.
In response, Assembly Speaker Robin Vos promised a conservative agenda for the year after bashing the governor on poor leadership for unemployment and vaccine distribution.
A couple people were honored during each proceeding last night. In addition to dedicating the speech to victims of COVID, Governor Evers gave a short tribute to his staffer who passed away last summer, Ben Belzer. In the Assembly, lawmakers passed a resolution honoring Speaker Vos as the longest serving in that role in Wisconsin history. Dane County's latest public health order goes into effect today. Order number 12 brings updated gathering limits. For the most part, it mirrors the current order, but there are some changes. The order does allow for indoor gatherings of up to 10 people still. It now limits outdoor gatherings to 50 people. Schools and universities can also continue with in-person schooling at all grade levels. Dane County restaurants can offer indoor seating capacity still at 25%, while restrictions remain in place for bars and taverns. Stores are also required to keep capacity limits at 50%.
3 more people have died from COVID-19 in Dane County. 47 deaths total were recorded across the state in the last day. Just under 2,900 more people have tested positive for the virus. To the impact on kids now, nearly 2.3 million children have tested positive across the country as of January 7th. That's a big number, but when you consider we're looking at more than 22 million cases overall, the data shows what public health experts have been saying for a while now, that kids are less likely to be hospitalized or to die from COVID-19. Still, health experts say they want more data on how the virus might affect kids over time.
Thousands of Wisconsin high school athletes last week heard the news they had been dreading, that their winter season is canceled because of the state's surge in COVID cases.
Our Taylor Lazenby spoke with Madison's athletic director on if and when students will be able to play again. Hi, Taylor.
Hi guys, good morning. That's right. Right now, high school winter sports like your basketball, your wrestling, your indoor track and field, your swimming and your cheerleading are all on pause right now due to COVID-19. Just last Friday, the Madison City Schools made that decision to carry out the beginning of the 2021 semester online. Now, I spoke with Jeremy Schultz. He's the district's athletic director, who says even with sports on pause right now, this is the time for players and they can sharpen their skills whether it's on or off the court.
Especially for our in-season athletes. And for our out-of-season athletes, it's to keep them fit. And hopefully we do some prehab and rehab with our UW health trainers that are part of the district and try to get the kids so when we are able to return, they'll be able to be ready.
Jeremy says right now, Madison City Schools is working to figure out how players can have contact days with their coaches. Currently, they're holding most of their practices via Zoom or other social platforms. Well, coming up in the next half hour, we're going to hear more from Jeremy about how your kids can stay healthy and stay active while at home learning. For News 3, I'm Taylor Lazenby.
Taylor, thank you. Developing this morning at 6:09, the NBA is tightening protocols as more games are postponed because of the virus. Players, coaches, and staff will now have to remain in their homes and hotel rooms with the exception of games and practices for the next 2 weeks. The League and Players Association say they hope the strict rules will help keep the season going safely. 5 games have already been called off for this week. Coaches for several teams have spoken out in favor of the restrictions. 6:10 right now. Let's take a look at your First Warn traffic maps on this Wednesday morning as you head out across southern Wisconsin. We're not seeing any major issues out there. A lot of green showing up on the map. Closer in on Madison right now, we are starting to see a little color popping up along East Washington Avenue near the downtown corridor, and also Stoughton Road near Highway 30 this morning, looking like some brake lights there. The interstate and the Beltline moving around the speed limit on the interstate, and westbound and eastbound sides of the Beltline moving well above that speed limit this morning. That's your First Warn traffic.
Thanks, Josh. Coming up, vaccinating frontline healthcare workers. With the rollout being criticized for taking too long, how one healthcare system is trying to speed up the process.
And a new program to help keep your neighbors in their homes during the pandemic. Stay with us.
$6 million worth of top brand home furnishings must be sold at Ashley Home Store. All furniture is up to 50% off store-wide. Plus, take a bonus 10% off our sale prices at checkout. And interest-free financing for up to 3 years. Stretch your stimulus check further at Ashley Home Store.
Golden Cars is having a huge winter sale. Don't miss out on 2017 Ford Escape starting at $11,995 or $185 per month.
That's right. You can buy a 2017 Ford Escape starting at $11,995 or $185 per month.
Golden Cars is family owned and operated for over 50 years.
So just hurry in today and ask for my sister, Crystal the Pistol Gobin.
Or my brother, Donovan Gobin.
You gotta go to Gobin, GobinCars.com.
Is your credit score getting in the way of the things you want to do? Personal loans through NetCredit offer fast and flexible lending. Borrow up to $10,000 and choose repayment terms that work for you. You may even be able to build your credit history as you repay. NetCredit, a more personal loan.
Habitat for Humanity of Dane County continues to help hardworking families attain homeownership. By providing financial coaching, homeowners can manage their mortgage and other finances while building stability for their family. Strengthen our community. Support Habitat Dane County.
We hear much about what divides us, our differences. But today, America is coming together, as it always has. People rising to the occasion. Among them, the healthcare alumni of Herzing University, over 12,000 strong and growing. This is your opportunity to join Herzing, to make a difference. Together, you can start now. Find out how at herzing.edu.
Did you know that 178 million Americans are missing at least one tooth?
It's true. That's why at Affordable Dentures and Implants, we only focus on tooth replacement solutions.
Whether it's a single tooth, full dentures, or dental implants, we have an experienced dentist who can create a new smile just for you.
At a price that's affordable.
Because at Affordable Dentures and Implants, we want you to
go ahead and smile.
At U.S. Cellular, we're building a powerful 5G network that works without interruption in the places you wouldn't expect. And with every plan at U.S. Cellular, you get access to 5G at no additional charge. So no matter where you are, U.S. Cellular's network always keeps you connected in the places you need it most. At U.S. Cellular, all of our plans include 5G and get unlimited data for just $30 a month with 4 lines. U.S. Cellular.
$6 million worth of furniture and mattresses must be sold at Ashley Home Store. Save up to 65% off doorbuster mattresses like these. Plus, pay as little as $25 per month, interest-free for up to 6 years on luxury sleep systems. Stretch your stimulus check further at Ashley Home Store.
All right, we're back. In all of Wisconsin this morning, DHS says a total of 607,000 doses of the COVID-19 vaccine have been allocated. Between the Moderna and Pfizer vaccines, 373,000 have been shipped. 163,000 of those have been administered. SSM Health is expanding its vaccination efforts, hoping to accelerate the process. At its hospital on Park Street, the health system began vaccinating other workers from the healthcare groups last week. That includes private care facilities and dental offices. Now the health system has nearly 500 healthcare groups in its service area requesting vaccinations, with more than 200 approved so far. To meet demand, SSM Health opened a new vaccination site at Dean Medical Group in Sun Prairie for those healthcare workers.
It's been tough watching people that I take care of and people that I know pass, and going to the funerals that can't even comfort anyone. I'm ready to do my part and get it done.
The sooner we vaccinate healthcare workers, the sooner we can begin vaccinating essential workers, and the sooner we can get to a point when the vaccine becomes available for everyone.
Prepare for the next groups to get the vaccine. SSM Health says they'll add more vaccination sites in the coming weeks.
The Moderna vaccine appears to give people at least a year's worth of protection. That's according to the company's chief medical officer. The two current doses are given about a month apart. Moderna, though, will test to see if a third dose will result in longer protection. Since this is a new product, officials aren't sure how long they will last.
Helping right now at 6:15, Johnson & Johnson is on track to submit its vaccine for emergency use by the end of this month. That's according to the head of Operation Warp Speed. He says they're setting up meetings to discuss and analyze the vaccine. If granted, Operation Warp Speed is anticipating millions of vaccines ready to be distributed by mid-February. Unlike other shots currently available, Johnson & Johnson's candidate only requires one dose, meaning it could rapidly increase the number of people fully vaccinated across the country.
A Wisconsin fire chief is happy to be home this morning after a fight with the virus and a very warm welcome back to his hometown. Ripon Fire Chief Tim Saul was sick for 6 weeks. Chief Saul's care team of more than 70 nurses and doctors cheered him on as he was wheeled out of the hospital in Neenah on Monday. Then, when he arrived back home in Ripon, more than a dozen emergency vehicles took part in a parade past his home.
It's so emotional. I didn't realize how sick I was, and I was within 24 hours of being on a ventilator, and who knows what would happen then.
Many of these, majority of the departments are volunteers, so they have other things to do, jobs, and for them to come out here like this, it says an awful lot about Chief Saul, what they think of him.
Makes you tear up a little. Every flashing light, honk, and wave meant the world to Chief Saul, who will continue to recover at home. He says he's looking forward to getting back to work. We wish the best to him. All right, 6:17 now. Hattie McLean keeping an eye on our Wednesday First Warn weather. Hey, Hads.
Good morning, Leah. It's actually a pretty quiet forecast coming up for today. Almanac for the day is showing you that we're above normal once again for today across southern Wisconsin. Take a look at our temperatures. Off to a pretty mild start. 30 here in Madison, 28 in the Dells and Platteville, as well as Prairie du Chien. Lone Rock is up a degree, but they're the cool spot this morning at 20. Here's a look at our satellite and radar combined. We do have clouds in the area, but no precipitation falling from these clouds just yet. Today's mainly a dry day in advance of the next storm system moving in tomorrow. Here's a look at your school day forecast. If you're learning virtual today and you need to take a break outside, today would be a good day to do so. Temperatures will be pretty mild, hitting highs right around 36 degrees. Just cloudy skies through the day, but winds should stay light as well. Tomorrow, things get a little dicey with a mixture of precipitation moving into the area. We'll talk about those storm impacts coming up in the next half hour.
All right, Hattie, thank you. Breaking news right now. In the last half hour, we've learned President-elect Joe Biden will nominate Samantha Power to lead the U.S. Agency for International Development. Power is a former United Nations ambassador, according to Bloomberg. In her time as ambassador, she pushed efforts to fight the Ebola pandemic and slow climate change. Power is an immigrant from Ireland and started her career as a journalist.
Well, it could be weeks before Wisconsin sees government action on coronavirus relief, despite the state Senate passing a bill and Governor Evers saying he'll sign it. The legislation is an amended version of the bill that passed the Senate Assembly, so it is a little different than the original Assembly version. It now has to go back through the chamber, where the Assembly Majority Leader says the bill falls too short. In a full statement, Representative Jim Steinge, Assembly Majority Leader, says that, quote, "We will continue to advocate for the priorities of our constituents over the next few weeks as we move towards a response to the Senate's actions during our next floor period later this month.
There's new hope this morning for people in Dane County who are behind on their rent. Madison, Dane County, and the Tenant Resource Center are renewing their partnership. It's similar to a program that helped fund 17,000 people last year. The city and county plan to use about $16 million in new federal stimulus money to specifically pay off back-owed rent.
This in no way will meet the full scope of the need in our community. This is, this again just barely scratches the surface of the need that's out there.
City officials say they're expecting even more funding to come once President-elect Biden takes office. In the meantime, the aid will be used to take immediate steps to help those in need. The application process for receiving aid is set to begin the first week of February. Landlords will also be able to apply on behalf of their tenants.
Coming up in trending this morning, what do a T-Rex and snow have in common? We'll show you coming up after the break.
And in our next half hour, giveaways you can take part in leading up to Saturday's Packers playoff game. Stay with us.
With a nursing degree, helping others went from a job to a career.
Cobuson Buses, now hiring.
Working with Cobuson, it's definitely been great because of the flexibility. If you do need time off, they work around you. They definitely try to make it a company that's based for you.
Visit Cobuson.com to apply.
Metastatic breast cancer is relentless, but I'm relentless every day. And having more days is possible with Verzenio, proven to help you live significantly longer when taken with fulvestrant.
Verzenio plus fulvestrant is for women with HR-positive, HER2-negative metastatic breast cancer that has progressed after hormone therapy. Diarrhea is common, may be severe, or cause dehydration or infection. At the first sign, call your doctor, start an antidiarrheal, and drink fluids. Before taking Verzenio, tell your doctor about any fever, chills, or other signs of infection. Verzenio may cause low white blood cell counts, which may cause serious infection that can lead to death. Life-threatening lung inflammation can occur. Tell your doctor about any new or worsening trouble breathing, cough, or chest pain. Serious liver problems can happen. Symptoms include fatigue, appetite loss, stomach pain, and bleeding or bruising. Blood clots that can lead to death have occurred. Tell your doctor if you have pain or swelling in your arms or legs, shortness of breath, chest pain, and rapid breathing or heart rate, or if you are pregnant or nursing.
Every day matters, and I want more of them.
Ask your doctor about everyday Verzenio.
You wash your cars and clothes and canines. You wash your cars and clothes and canines. You wash your cars and clothes and canines. At the Magic Wash. At the Magic Wash. Whoa.
Ring in the new year with a new room from Steinhoffels during our extended New Year's sale. Save 35% store-wide and get amazing deals like any size Sealy mattress, only $99. This queen bed, $6.99. Or this dining set, $7.99. This leather sofa, now only $9.99. And make your new room more affordable with Steinhoffels 60-month special financing. Only at Steinhoffels and Steinhoffels.com.
How we doing?
Fabulous.
I wonder how the firm's doing without its fearless leader. You sure you want to leave that all behind?
Yeah. Stay restless with the icon that does the same. The RX, crafted by Lexus.
Lease the 2021 RX 350 all-wheel drive for $429 a month for 36 months.
Experience amazing at your Lexus dealer.
Cobuson Buses, now hiring.
After we backed that bus out of its stall and started driving, I just loved it. We really get a chance to get to know each other. Almost everyone has a different story about how they came to bus driving, so you really end up feeling like you're part of a family.
Visit Cobuson.com to apply.
We're back at 6:23 on a Wednesday morning. Denise sending in this stunner from Stoughton. Loving all of that color. We haven't had a lot of color to enjoy lately, so it's nice to see a little bit in my morning this morning. If you've got a photo you want to send, all you have to do is use the hashtag MyNews3Morning, and we'll share it with you right here around this time every morning. Well, trending now, guys, we're used to seeing the snowfall here in Wisconsin, of course, and we may sometimes take that for granted, but for some folks, It is a hot commodity. Check out this new video this morning. A person dressed in a T-Rex costume was spotted playing in the snow in Madrid, Spain. Crews have been working to clear streets and deliver supplies after that area saw its worst snowstorm in decades. I don't know what it is about these costumes, but they get me every time. I don't know if it's just like the little arms, their little stubby arms that just crack me up. But seeing them in the snow is always a good time, Leah.
Oh, Josh, if we just all wore dinosaur costumes, wouldn't the world be a better place? They just would. It would solve all our problems. Social distance, it's like a mask for your body. Political arguments wouldn't be so serious if you were both dressed in this. Chris, what do you think?
And we'd all be pretty clumsy, you know? I always see those T-Rexes falling over. I imagine walking around in those things. But it's absolutely the stubby arms that get me about these every time. It's like it's a big, massive, you know, intimidating creature, and it's got these tiny little arms.
Kind of like you. You're like 6'7". You got these short little arms?
I'll challenge that.
Let me explain myself. The last hour, our producer said you were kind of giving us an example of what this looks like, and we didn't get to see it because we were showing the video instead. Yeah, there we go.
My T-Rex arms.
Okay, time to toss it over to Hattie.
Yeah, better move on before we dig that hole any deeper, Leah. Let's take a look at the Edgewater Sky Camera this morning. No issues with fog across the area this morning. That's the good news. Temperatures are actually pretty mild as well. 30 here in Madison, 28 in the Dells, and 28 in Janesville. Here's a look at our satellite and radar combined. Again, a lot of clouds in the area. Wish we could have some sunshine in the forecast today, but that's just not in the cards. With the next storm system moving in tomorrow, we're already seeing some of the clouds. Here's a look at our pet walk picture. This is Abby in Baraboo. Looking pretty comfy under the Christmas tree there. 36 for the high, so actually not that bad temperature-wise today. We do have a mix changing over to snow tomorrow. We'll be right back after this.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
At American Family Insurance, we've always protected more than what you drive. We've protected and supported the dreams that drive you. Right now, that means extending our 10% savings on auto premium for all current and new auto customers through March, so you can get a little closer to your dream. Whether your dream is discovering new roads and new limits, or supporting that dream. American Family Insurance. Insure carefully. Dream fearlessly.
The forecast calls for a messy commute. The Ford lineup helps keep you in command. Intelligent four-wheel drive monitors traction, and a terrain management system adapts to road conditions at the turn of a knob, so you're ready to take on the elements with confidence. Power through the storm in a new Ford Explorer, now with 0% financing for 72 months, plus $4,250 bonus cash. See your Wisconsin dealer today.
So, how's saving for the renovation going?
All done.
I will never understand how you do it.
Easy. She saves with BMO Harris. We give you a cash reward for every month you save.
So BMO will give me cash for saving money?
You bet.
Can the subject hold position 2, please?
How's this?
That's art.
I make saving look good.
When a bank helps you make real financial progress, that's the BMO effect. Get a $5 reward every month you save $200 or more in a new BMO Statement Savings account.
Love lower than low prices? Then get more ways to save at Pick and Save, where you can find personalized coupons, weekly deals, and rewards like fuel points. All for prices that are lower than low. On food that's fresher than fresh. Pick and Save. Fresh for everyone.
To most people, the idea of fighting is unpleasant. But sometimes to make things right, it's necessary to fight. Some things are worth fighting for. If If you or your family has been injured, you'll want a good law firm on your side to make things right again. Since 1930, Habish, & Routier has recovered more million-dollar results for our clients than any other law firm in Wisconsin. Habish, & Routier. We fight for what's right.
Inching toward impeachment, new overnight developments clearing the path for a vote on the House floor today.
And a new public health order is in effect right now in Dane County. What's staying the same and what's changing?
This is News 3 Now this morning.
Good morning, everybody. Thanks for joining us. I'm Leah Lynchide, along with Chris Stanford and Josh Sprider. Today marks exactly 1 week since a mob of the president's supporters violently attacked the U.S. Capitol. It's also exactly 1 week until President-elect Joe Biden's inauguration.
Today is also the day the House plans to impeach President Donald Trump for a second time. It'll be on charges that he incited a mob to storm the Capitol. Overnight, the House approved a resolution urging Vice President Mike Pence to remove the president from office by invoking the 25th Amendment. It's a symbolic rebuke to the president. Pence had already rejected the idea in a letter to House Speaker Nancy Pelosi earlier in the day.
Right now, we're tracking what your representatives are saying about the House's vote this morning. In a statement, Republican Representative Brian Stiles says enough already. He says the vote doesn't move the country forward and that the partisan games need to stop. He's asking President-elect Biden to condemn the, quote, dangerous messaging ploys. Meanwhile, Democratic Representative Ron Kine voting in favor of the House's measure. He says he is horrified by what happened last week and says because of his actions and rhetoric, he believes President Trump poses a clear and present danger to the country. He wants the president to resign or for Vice President Pence to invoke the 25th Amendment. If neither happens, he says he will have no choice left but to impeach. CBS News is out with a new poll on how Americans feel about impeachment. We'll have those results in the sprint.
More Republican lawmakers are already in favor of impeachment this time around. This includes the House's third-ranking Republican, Wyoming Congresswoman Liz Cheney. She says the president's actions have amounted to the greatest presidential betrayal in history. 4 other House Republicans have announced they will join Democrats and vote to impeach. The House first impeached President Trump in December of 2019 for abuse of power and obstruction of justice. The Senate acquitted him of those charges 2 months later in February of 2020.
An Illinois man is facing federal charges this morning for threatening violence at President-elect Joe Biden's inauguration. Our affiliate in Chicago reports police arrested Lou Capriotti yesterday at his Chicago Heights home. According to the charges, he falsely claimed to be an active-duty Marine when he left a voicemail message for a U.S. House member from New Jersey. In the message, Capriotti said, quote, "We will surround the White House and we will kill any Democrat that steps on the lawn." Charges show Capriotti had called several other members of Congress between October 2019 and January 2020, leaving, quote, disturbing anonymous messages. Stay away from the Capitol. That is what Wisconsin Attorney General Josh Kaul wants everyone to do starting Sunday. The FBI is monitoring threats of armed protests at Capitol buildings starting around that time. Kaul tells our Milwaukee affiliate that he thinks boarding up the windows at the building was an appropriate response, but he says he finds it disturbing that it's necessary.
Dane County's new public health order is now in effect, but it won't change much for most of us. Indoor gatherings are still capped at 10 people. Outdoor gatherings are doubled now. They're capped at 50. Dane County restaurants can still offer indoor seating at 25 capacity. Stores keep it at 50%. Face coverings are still required in public spaces. If you don't comply, you could face a $1,000 fine inside the city of Madison.
It could be a few weeks until we see government action on a COVID relief bill. The state Senate passed an amended bill yesterday afternoon. Governor Evers intends to sign it, but before he can, it'll have to go back through the Assembly. Assembly Majority Leader Jim Steinke says the bill falls short. Pushback there or more proposed changes could cause some delays.
Governor Evers is laying out his plans to address the pandemic this year. In his State of the State address last night, the governor highlighted what the state has already done in response, like doling out the nearly $2 billion in federal CARES Act dollars. He's looking at 2021 now and eyeing recovery.
We are reminded now that in the fight for progress and prosperity, we each share responsibility. and it begins with broadband.
Governor Evers is declaring it the year of broadband access. He promises to ask the legislature for $200 million over the next 2 years to make that happen. He also called a special session of the legislature to update the IT systems at the Department of Workforce Development. Some have blamed the technology there for slow payouts to unemployed Wisconsinites. In response, Assembly Speaker Robin Vos blames the governor for lack of leadership. He points to how the state is handling vaccine distribution.
Wisconsin doesn't have a comprehensive rollout plan. Few know where and when they can get a vaccine, and all of us deserve answers. With lives literally on the line, this is absolutely unacceptable.
Vos highlighted the wins of the Republican legislature and vowed to continue lowering taxes. The Assembly also passed a resolution honoring Vos as the longest-serving Assembly Speaker in state history.
6:34 now. Hattie McLean is tracking some snow in the forecast. Hey, Hattie.
Good morning, Chris. Yeah, sorting out all the details for the upcoming storm. Still some question marks, but some things coming into more closer view. Let's take a look at what we know for this storm. We know that it's going to be sort of a long-duration light snow event for southern Wisconsin, and it will impact the Thursday afternoon commute. So if you're heading home from work tomorrow, plan on it taking a little longer than usual. Heaviest amounts of snow are still likely to the north and west. The question marks that we still have with this storm are when the mix transitions to snow. Now it's looking like just a real short time frame for any mixy precipitation, quickly changing over to snow by the afternoon hours. And then what happens on Friday as the storm system sort of wraps up and spins out of Wisconsin. The track and strength of that storm will impact what happens on Friday, but we could see some snow showers lingering for at least part of the state on Friday. Here's a look at our snow totals, and these are the forecast totals for this upcoming storm. Generally light, as I mentioned, a 1 to 3 inch snow total with those heavier amounts to the north and west. Nothing showing up on the radar map right now, but if we zoom it out, you'll see two areas of precipitation, one closer to us across Minnesota and northern Iowa. If we see anything from that precipitation, it'll just be a few sprinkles or a flurry or two as the atmosphere is still not quite saturated here in southern Wisconsin. Main batch of moisture remains well off to our north and west still back in Montana. Here's a look at temperatures. There are some mild temperatures on the map this morning. Denver, Rapid City, close to 40 degrees this morning out ahead of that storm system. So southwesterly brings winds bringing in some milder air. We're already starting to see quite a few clouds across southern Wisconsin with this associated system, and you'll see a lot of cloud cover off to the west, so not a lot of sunshine in our forecast today. Our future track forecast model will show you how temperatures slowly climb today. We're talking highs in the mid-30s later on this afternoon. We are going to keep the clouds and that light southwesterly wind. Temperatures will stay pretty similar then overnight tonight. Not expecting a big cool down with those clouds in place. Overnight lows will likely stay in the 20s. Our precipitation heads our way tomorrow, but we'll likely be able to get to work just fine in the morning. Look for that mix to develop in the mid-morning hours. Here's a look at your extended forecast then. Temperatures cool down a little bit behind the system, but not drastically. We'll look at highs in the mid to upper 20s both Saturday and Sunday.
Hattie, thank you very much. 6:37 now. COVID numbers are still high in Wisconsin. That's why the Sports Medicine Advisory Committee is recommending schools cancel high school winter sports seasons.
Yeah, but there are still ways to have your students stay season ready. Taylor Lazenby is live now with some tips from school athletic directors. Hey, Taylor.
Hey, Chris, good morning. That's right. I spoke to WIAA, and they say their guidelines right now are if a player or any team tests positive for COVID-19, the team would be shut down for 2 weeks and unable to compete for 3. These guidelines are just one of the many reasons why Madison City schools have postponed winter sports for just right now. So what should students be doing in the meantime? Well, coaches say students should remain focused and try little drills or exercises each day to keep motivated, whether it's with your teammates or with family members.
They figured out with this pause a little bit more clarity on where they wanted to go next. And I'm hoping that not only can we do that for our seniors, but for our freshmen through our seniors, take this opportunity as a way to be reflective and figure out a way to innovate, because we are going to be resilient. Athletes always are resilient. But how are we going to make what we think it should be not what it used to be when we're back in normal circumstance?
Jeremy says it is not possible to know what the specific landscape will look like in the future months, but if metrics improve to the levels achieved in the fall, the Madison School Sports Association anticipates holding a spring sports season. And to find out more information on spring and athletic sports dealing with COVID-19, you can log on to our website. That's at channel3000.com. For News 3, I'm Taylor Lazenby.
Taylor, thank you very much. Some schools in Dane County are finding workarounds so students can still compete. Middleton is the latest to announce it will compete in winter sports outside of Dane County. The State Journal reports these schools right here on your screen have recently approved competing out of the county, including Wanakee, DeForest, Verona, and Oregon schools. Edgewood and Marshall had already been competing outside of Dane County. Big 8 Conference athletic directors are scheduled to meet today. Dane County athletic directors are scheduled to meet tomorrow to talk more about winter plans.
It's another day of Packers giveaways ahead of the team's playoff game at Lambeau. Today is Win It Wednesday. You can win Packers Pro Shop party packages through the Twitter account on your screen. Keep an eye on the Packers Facebook and Twitter accounts too. You can win more Pro Shop gear, gift cards, and even a signed football. Packers play the Rams this Saturday at 3:35 on Fox. Well, this longtime leader of the Packers will guest host an episode of Jeopardy! If you follow us on social media, you'll know the answer is, who is Aaron Rodgers? He's a lifelong fan of the show. He was on it back in 2015 and won Celebrity Jeopardy! Now he can't wait to be the one asking the questions.
The show has been so special to me over the years. It's been a staple at my house here in Green Bay for the last 16 years, 6 o'clock, watching Alex and trying to get as many questions as I can. When the opportunity came up in 2015, I mean, that was a dream come true. It really was. To be on there, to get to meet Alex was just such a special moment.
Yeah, Rodgers hasn't said exactly when that episode will air. Like, we needed another reason to love Aaron Rodgers, right?
Exactly.
All right, 6:41 right now. Let's take a look at your first warn traffic this morning as you head out across Dane County. We don't have any major issues out there. No crashes to report across the area. Rock County also moving along just fine. There's your drive times as you head out the door. Let's take a live look outside right now. More clouds in store for your Wednesday. A quiet day, but we've got some changes to talk about and some snow moving in. Hattie's got the details coming up.
And we've been challenging you to move every day as part of our own New Year's resolution. Turns out it can add years to your life. We'll tell you about that coming up after the break.
Associated Physicians celebrates 75 years of caring, helping, and listening. Associated Physicians. Devoted physicians, trusted care.
The New Year's Super Sale at Denver Mattress has been extended, so there's still time to find great deals on your perfect mattress. Shop today, and the more you buy, the more you save. Save $100 on every $1,000 you spend. Score free shipping, and check out the Summit Firm for only $199.99. Save $100 on our entire Doctor's Choice lineup. Or purchase a Tempur-Pedic and get a free $300 Furniture Row gift certificate, plus 5 years no interest financing. Hurry! The extended New Year's Super Sale at Denver Mattress ends soon.
The modern farmhouse look is here to stay, and we have it for less at Slumberland Furniture. Start out with neutrals. Use a beige or light gray sofa as your base to build on. Next, mix and match metals and wood. Try adding contrast by using light with dark. Finally, add home-style pillows and unique farmhouse accessories. Play around and have fun. Get your current look for less at Slumberland Furniture.
At iMart Express, it's just the right price. 2 pairs of glasses start under $40. Using insurance? We accept over 1,000 plans, and using your benefits is as easy as 1, 2, 3. No insurance? No problem. Glasses to fit your budget. It's just the right price. Only at iMart Express.
a surprise party, a wedding proposal, an unexpected bonus at work. Some surprises are awesome, but this, weather like this, should never be a surprise. Not when you watch News 3 Now, where you get an accurate, reliable forecast, so you're never caught off guard by the weather. Need to get up early to shovel, add time to your commute, wear boots, rebook a flight? Let News 3 Now First Warn Weather give you everything you need to know so you can plan your life. Download the Channel 3000 app today. The race to vaccinate is on. But like so many other states, Wisconsin's lagging behind. What's the holdup? News 3 Now breaks down the local vaccination chain and why you may have to wait a bit longer to roll up your sleeve. Thursday at 10. Accurate news as it happens, right here where you live. Information that you can use from the team you can trust. For more local stories that impact your life, News 3 Now.
Welcome back at 6:44. I've got a question for you three this morning, and all of you at home. Can you get up and moving for just 11 minutes a day? I'll let you think about that for a moment, because there's no denying the last year has hampered activity levels. But there is good news this morning. Despite all that sedentary time, with as little as 11 minutes of movement a day, you can actually increase your lifespan. A new study by the Lancet Journal says it's as simple as a brisk walk. Other ideas here: you can do 4 sets of 3-minute body weight exercises. You can do a yoga flow practice, or dance like no one is watching. Leah, I know getting up and moving has been our New Year's resolution this year. We've been trying to share in that as much as possible. I've been doing pretty well so far. How have you been shaping up?
Yeah, we generally go to the gym together. You can see that picture there of us working out, or, you know, dying after our workout, more like. A couple pictures of Hattie getting moving outside. And I know we have one of Chris and the girls. Chris, I feel like just being a dad is your workout, huh?
I'm always on my feet, always chasing those kids around. Yeah, yesterday it was so nice out. We built a little snow hill in the backyard and got the sled out. So I guess that was my activity, my little workout for yesterday.
Looked like fun. Hads, one of these days I'm going to stop napping and actually take a walk with you in the afternoon.
Yes, do it. We've had such great days to be outside recently. Very pretty conditions as well, with all of that rime ice in the last week. So great opportunities to get outside. Today, you should be outside as well. For January standards, we're talking pretty nice conditions today. Our temperatures this morning are starting in the low 30s in some spots. We're at 30 here in Madison. Mineral Point is 32. Ver Oak was close to 30, as is Janesville, Monroe, and Platteville. So a nice mild start to the day. Winds are expected to stay from the southwest, but relatively light, so we're not talking a big wind chill factor today either. Take a look at your day planner temperatures as we start to see some light from our Edgewater sky camera. We have highs in the mid-30s this afternoon.
Thanks, Hattie. Stick around. The morning sprint is next.
But first, if you have a little kid turning 3 soon, let us know so we can share their picture on TV to celebrate. Thanks for watching News 3 Now this morning.
Look Who's 3 is sponsored by Three Bears Resort, Indoor Water Park and Conference Center in Warrens, Wisconsin.
Your eyes are everything. They're how you see the world and connect with others. At Shopko Optical, your eyes are everything to us too, which is why we offer everything to help you see better and look better. A huge selection of designer frames, convenient locations, and experienced optometrists. We're Shopko Optical. You'll see. Right now, get 50% off frames with any lens purchase.
Millions of customers are leaving their providers and switching to Spectrum. And if you have satellite, it's not hard to see why. Because unlike satellite, Spectrum gives you all the services you need, like internet and TV from one provider.
They do?
Yeah, they do. And Spectrum has the fastest download speeds with the most reliable performance. Get Spectrum Internet with speeds at 200 megabits for $44.99 a month. Call 833-909-4499. Spectrum wins on TV, too. Unlike satellite, Spectrum doesn't have an ugly dish to install. And you get exclusive premium original content with Spectrum Originals.
Wow, really?
Really? Plus, Spectrum has more free HD and free on demand. Get Spectrum TV from $44.99 a month. Call 833-909-4499. And unlike satellite providers, Spectrum doesn't have contracts or early termination fees. We'll even buy out your current contract up to $500. Switch to America's fastest growing internet, TV, and voice provider. Get Spectrum Internet and TV from $44.99 a month each. Ask about our easy self-install options. Call 833-909-4499.
The forecast calls for a messy commute. The Ford lineup helps keep you in command. Intelligent four-wheel drive monitors traction, and a terrain management system adapts to road conditions at the turn of a knob. So you're ready to take on the elements with confidence.
Power through the storm in a new Ford Explorer, now with 0% financing for 72 months, plus $4,250 bonus cash. See your Wisconsin dealer today.
Culver's is a family restaurant. To me, that means being the place that puts a smile on everyone's face. We're famous for our cooked-to-order butter burgers and frozen custard made daily inside our restaurants. But we've always believed more menu options mean more ways to brighten your day. We source the finest chicken to bring you our tenders and chicken sandwiches. And our cheese curds. They're a Wisconsin tradition we're proud to share with you. So take the next meal shift off and let us take care of you. Welcome to Delicious.
Get more local news now with Channel 3000 Plus, our free digital streaming service that brings you area news and info 24/7 from the News 3 Now team. Channel 3000 Plus. Download it today and watch from your streaming media player or mobile device.
You make plans, what to wear, where to go, when to go, what to bring. And then the weather changes everything. Let News 3 Now First Warn Weather prepare you for what's coming. First, fast, and accurately, so you can plan your life.
The Portage Furniture Store with free delivery on brands you know and trust.
Welcome back. 6:50, time for the morning sprint.
The House plans to impeach President Donald Trump for a second time. Today, it'll be on charges that he incited a mob to storm the Capitol. Overnight, the House approved a resolution urging Vice President Mike Pence to remove the president from office by invoking the 25th Amendment. That's a symbolic rebuke to the president. Pence had already rejected the idea in a letter to House Speaker Nancy Pelosi earlier in the day.
Just in right now, a new CBS News poll finds most Americans favor impeaching President Trump. That includes a majority of Democrats and independents. Only 15% of Republicans support it. For people who support impeachment, they feel it will send a signal that the president's behavior was wrong. But for those against it, they think impeachment would cause more division in the country.
A Wisconsin man is facing federal charges accused of illegally entering the U.S. Capitol building last week. Kevin Loftus is from Chippewa Falls. He made his initial court appearance yesterday. Investigators were able to identify him through social media, where he posted pictures of himself inside the building and also commented, quote, "I am wanted by the FBI for illegal entry." Loftus's case is one of more than 70 filed by the FBI, and many more are expected.
A handful of major companies that spend heavily in politics are backing away from members of Congress who voted to overturn election results. Wisconsin Republicans Tom Tiffany and Scott Fitzgerald voted to block certification. News 3 Investigates reached out to 5 major Wisconsin-based companies who helped fund their campaigns to see if they support their votes or if they had plans to pull funding. One company responded. Northwestern Mutual says it plans to review its political spending as part of an annual process.
YouTube is the latest platform preventing President Trump from posting. The video sharing site has banned the president's channel for at least a week. The company says recent uploads from the channel earned a strike. The platform wouldn't say what was uploaded, but says it did incite violence. Facebook and Twitter have both permanently banned President Trump for posting content that violates their policies.
A devastating update to a story we've been following all week. A 16-year-old Albany boy is facing charges this morning for killing his newborn and hiding the body. The Greene County District Attorney says Logan Kruckenberg Anderson will be charged as an adult. The next details from the criminal complaint are rather disturbing. Kruckenberg Anderson admitted to investigators that he took the baby into the woods, covered her in snow, and shot her twice. He's in the Rock County Juvenile Detention Center this morning on $1 million cash bond.
Breaking overnight, for the first time in nearly 7 decades, the U.S. government has executed a woman inmate. Lisa Montgomery was pronounced dead early this morning after being given a lethal injection in Indiana. She is the 11th prisoner to be executed since July. Before then, it had been 17 years since the last federal execution. Montgomery was convicted of killing a pregnant woman, removing the baby, and trying to pass it off as her own. And breaking within the last hour, we've learned President-elect Biden will nominate Samantha Power to lead the U.S. Agency for International Development. Power is a former United Nations ambassador. Bloomberg reports she is responsible for helping the Ebola crisis and slowing climate change. Power is an immigrant from Ireland and started her career as a journalist.
Members of Congress will now be fined if they don't wear masks on the House floor. It's $500 for the first offense, $2,500 for the second. This comes after 3 House Democrats tested positive for COVID within 24 hours. Many are now concerned. Last week's insurrection at the Capitol has also turned into a super spreader. Democrats say some of their Republican colleagues refused to wear masks while hiding.
Here's the latest look at COVID numbers in Wisconsin. New cases reported Tuesday are more than double what DHS reported Monday. More than 28,000 people have active cases.
Here's a look at the state's vaccination progress. Fewer than half of doses shipped to Wisconsin providers have been administered. That's roughly 163,000 shots. 607,000 doses have been allocated for the state.
We've been getting a lot of questions about who's next in line to get the vaccine. Well, we're told police and firefighters will definitely be included in the next phase. A state committee is also recommending people over 70 and people living in family care and shelters. Inmates and teachers be included as well.
You should soon be able to get cocktails to go from your favorite local restaurant. 2 Republican lawmakers are behind the new bill. It would change current law to allow restaurants to sell wine or mixed drinks by the glass to customers who are ordering takeout meals. Right now, they can only sell beer and wine in bottles or cans, not in glasses. The Restaurant Association says it would be a much-needed source of revenue.
Check your pet food this morning. Pet owners, that recall we warned you about earlier this month is being expanded. At least 70 pets have now died and another 80 are sick because of mold. This is a problem in Midwestern Pet Foods Sport Mix. It includes products with corn that are made in the Oklahoma plant. Look for an expiration date on or before July 9th, 2022.
Final look at traffic at 6:55 as you head out the door right now. You can expect no issues out there. A couple of slowdowns on Park Street as you approach the downtown area. East Washington Avenue also seeing some brake lights at this hour. Verona Road, you're down in the yellow from Verona to the Beltline. Your average speed right now, 43 miles an hour. That's your First Warn traffic.
And your First Warn weather starts out on a pretty mild note. This morning, temperatures are running 5 to 10 degrees warmer than they were this time yesterday. Take a look at the actual numbers. We are in the upper 20s here in Madison, pretty close to 30 degrees. That's the case in most spots this morning. Weather track showing you a lot of clouds in the area, so look for cloudy skies today. But as you head out the door, you don't need as many layers today. Temperatures will climb to highs in the mid-30s this afternoon, right around 36 degrees. We do have a storm system moving in for tomorrow that'll initially bring a mix, changing over to some snow for the afternoon and evening. This will impact the Thursday evening commute, so keep that in mind.
Thank you very much, Hattie. And thanks for joining us this morning, folks. Enjoy that sunrise. Enjoy the rest of your day. We'll be back here tomorrow morning.